Oh, I'm just upset. Can you tell? Can you tell I'm upset? I've been in a very gamey mood recently, and so I thought we would play the Stranger Things game. So here's the thing, I don't know if y'all remember, but there was a mobile app that they released like before season 2 that was like a Stranger Things mobile game, and it was so good. It was so good. I don't know if any of y'all play that game, but if you haven't, it's still available on the App Store and you should download it. It's just called Stranger Things the Game, I think, but it was like a big deal because like if you like completed the game, you could like unlock like a clip from season 2, and it was like before it was released, and it was the whole like trick-or-treating thing, and it was great. I have like vivid, happy memories of like playing it like at school with my friends. It was like very difficult, to be honest, but I did complete it. And then right after season 3, they released this game, which was a computer game that you had to pay for. I bought it when it was on sale, and I started playing it, but I haven't played it in a while, so I kind of thought we would start over and just talk about Stranger Things, because there's been some news and I have some things to say. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, this game is better than season 3, so let's get it going. Look at little Pixel Alexi. So yeah, obviously this game had like, it was just like better graphics, better mechanics than the season 2 game, but like the season 2 one is like has a special place in my heart. So I'm gonna let this cutscene play. I'm gonna listen. We got some very unpleasant news yesterday. So before watching this video, I would recommend you watch my video essay that I made called The Downfall of Stranger Things, because that just kind of encompasses how I feel up to this point about the show. And like how season 3 has affected the show. And yesterday we got this announcement. Stranger Things creators on their departure from Halloween spookiness and season 4 plans. What's the status of shooting season 4? Everyone's excited to get back to work, but the priority is the safety of the cast and crew, and that will dictate when we go back. We've had a lot more time to work on the scripts. For the first time, we have all the scripts written, and we're able to look at it as a whole piece and make adjustments. Will season 4 be the last? Season 4 won't be the end. We know that the end is, and we know when it is. The pandemic has given us time to look ahead, figure out what is best for the show. Starting to fill that out gave us a better idea of how long we needed to tell the story. There's a lot here to break down and be upset about. Both of these are such Mike Wheeler answers, and both of them fill me with rage, so. Okay, great, I'm playing as my favorite character. I love playing as my favorite character, Mike Wheeler. So, here's the thing. First of all, deviating from the spookiness. Have y'all learned nothing? I'm sorry, like, have the writers forgotten the genre of their own show? Like, are y'all aware that this is a suspense sci-fi? Which, in theory, is rooted in horror and spookiness. And it's like, this just proves that it's like they're really not listening. Because like the whole thing with like season 3 that a lot of people hated was that it was just so different tonally from the rest of the show. Like, it just, you know, as I talked about before, like, it felt like a teen drama. It felt like they weren't taking things seriously as they were in the previous seasons. It felt like they just had a different mindset to it now, and we're very sort of, we don't really know what we're doing, but we're making a lot of money, so it doesn't necessarily have to be good, you know, and a lot of shows reach this point. How unfortunate that Stranger Things met its end so early. So, like, so what they're saying is, we heard you. The fact that, like, half of our fandom really hated this season because it felt like a teen drama. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make it more like a teen drama. Y'all know that's what's gonna happen. Like, the only thing that it could be, like, deviating from the spookiness is, like, focusing more on the comedy that nobody liked. Like, the comedy of Stranger Things only works if it's balanced with the rest. if it's balanced with the other tonal elements, and season 3 wasn't. Like, it was so difficult to take things seriously because of the tone that they had established in season 3. And it's like, why would you... They literally, like, they don't know what they're doing, and it's so sad. Second thing. What was the second thing? For the first time, we have all the scripts written. Yeah, we noticed. We noticed that you come up with things on the spot. Like, it's just so unfortunate because, like, this show could have been over after season 2. They could have ended it after the snowball, not gone into that shot of the mind flare and the upside down, and it would have been a picture-perfect show. Like, take out, like, episode 8. Take out, you know, like the Chicago episode. And it's like, it literally could have been a perfect show. And they got greedy, as most shows do. And the fact that they don't recognize that they got greedy, and they're not taking into account the fact that people didn't like the changes they made, is, like, so incredibly stupid. Like, yeah, y'all made a shitload of money. It was the most views in one day of any Netflix premiere ever. Yeah, because people loved the show and wanted it to be good. It doesn't make any sense. And like and the ultimate thing is the fact that they oh my god, I'm so angry. I'm literally so mad. Like, this makes me so mad. And it makes me mad because I was so passionate about this show. Like, I've said this before, like, seasons 1 and 2 will always have an incredibly special place in my heart. Like, season 1 is probably always going to be my favorite season of television. I love season 2 very, very much. But, like, season 3 just, like, made me, like, dislike the show, and that's so sad. Like, I don't think of Stranger Things with fondness now. I think of it with, like, anger and resentment, and that's sad. And so, like, basically, there was this whole, there were rumors going around ages ago of, like, how many seasons it was going to be. And, like, for a while, they were saying 5, and then they were saying, like, 5 in a movie, and everyone was like, no, like, that never, ever works out. And then, like, apparently the rumor was that season 4 was going to be the last season, which is, like, good. Like, end it. They've already jumped the shark with 3 seasons. Like, they don't need more. And the big underlying issue here is, like, okay, even if we take into account, like, the people who like the show as it is now don't have an issue with it at this point, which is totally fine. Like, let me just disclaim, if you like Stranger Things still, and you thought season 3 was really good, that's awesome. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as well, but objectively, it's not good. You know, is, like, my mindset of it. But anyway, like, setting aside that whole thing, the kids are too old. And, like, the way they film this show, is they take unless they do, like, unless they do the rest of the seasons, like, soon, like, within the next, like, less than a year, film it back to back, the kids are far too old. And, like, what are they gonna do? Stranger Things in college? Nobody wants that. Like, the draw of the show was that they were young kids, and it's like they're already losing, like, the essence of, like, the small town 80s innocence with the fact that they're teenagers now. And it's like, me and a lot of other people just don't like the whole teenager dynamic of them now, because it's just, like, it's turned into, you know, a teen drama. And that's just, like, obviously those are the kind of conflicts that you do when you have teen characters, like romance conflicts, friendship conflicts, etc. But it's like, that doesn't fit with the narrative that they establish. Can you? Bro. And it's like, it's just ridiculous to me that they're, like, actually making more than one more season. Like, they're already going to be so much older, and, like, I don't know about you guys, I'm tired of the time jumps. Like, I'd honestly, like, for once, like them to kind of pick up where they left off. And it's like, I thought it worked with season 2, because it was, like, you know, the whole aftermath of Will, and, like, it didn't really come into fruition until later. And, like, I think season 2 really worked because of, like, the Halloween vibes, whatever. Y'all know I had this whole theory that season 4 was going to take place during Christmas, and it was going to be the final season, like, big holiday, whatever, it was going to come out this December. Obviously, that's not happening because of the pandemic. It honestly really worries me that, like, they're picking up production once again in September, allegedly, after they'd already started season 4. Like, are they going to be changing more things? Are the changes going to be bad? Like, the fact that they're claiming that they've had all this time to, like, think about, why am I still playing as Mike? Hold on. I have Lucas available to me, and I'm playing as fucking Mike Wheeler? Yeah, okay. But, like, that just, like, makes, like, they're just, oh my god, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what are they thinking? And so, like, the fact that they're like, oh, we had all this time and the pandemic to think about the direction of the show is, like, so worrisome. Because it's, like, at this point, like, we're all going kind of insane. And it's, like, how do we know that whatever this alleged ending they came up with in quarantine is gonna be somewhat decent? Like, obviously, like, yeah, we, you know, I want to trust them. I want it to be good. And it's just, like, it's just so frustrating to, like, see something you love, like, just turn into, like, a mess. And, like, yeah, like, it's not a mess, you know? Like, it's still, like, a well-crafted show. But it's just, like, the writing is so incredibly disappointing. Like, so incredibly disappointing. And it's just, like, I'm just so worried. Because it's, like, if that's what they're... If, like, season 2 was, like, objectively really good, and if their continuation to season 2 was that weak, like, how is their continuation to season 3 gonna be when people enjoyed season 2? And it's, like, looking at it, like, logistically, like, a lot of people like, a lot more people enjoyed season 2 than season 3. Like, it got better reviews and better feedback and, like, whatever, both from critics and from audience reception. Anyway, I literally just asked you guys like 5 minutes ago for Stranger Things 4 related questions, so we're going to talk about some of these. Who do you think will die, if anyone's going to die? I stand by my pre-season 3 theory that that's gonna be Steve. I, you know, thought season 3 would have been closer to the end than it was, so, like, I understand that it's not Steve. Steve is going to die by the end of this show. Like, logistically speaking, like, that is the only reason why they gave him a redemption arc, and that kind of connection with Dustin is so that he can sacrifice himself from Dustin. Like, you know it's gonna happen. It's gonna be incredibly heroic and adorable, and everyone's gonna cry because it's, like, everyone loves him now, and it's gonna be really, like, powerful, and it's gonna be great. And it's like, that's what's gonna happen. TV-14 is a really hard thing to work under. Umbrella Academy is also TV-14, and there was, like, this whole, like, rumor that they were changing the rating to M17, but then they actually didn't, and I don't know. I really think that Stranger Things should change their rating, like, especially if they're considering, you know, dragging this shit out. Their kids are now all almost 18. Like, this is not for kids anymore. Like, if they're going to aim it for kids, and the kids on the show are going to be that old, it's going to turn into Riverdale. Like, it's straight up going to turn into Riverdale, and I'm terrified. And people were saying that. People were like, Stranger Things is going to turn into Riverdale someday. And I was like, absolutely not. It could never happen. And now I'm like, they're really getting there. If they're like, oh, no more spooky. More than 4 seasons. Like, what is wrong with you people? My only other guess is, like, they might kill 11 at the end of the show. But, like, I honestly think that would be such a fucking cop-out. Because it's, like, she's obviously, like, has, like, grown so much. And it's, like, for them to, like, kill her after they did, like, that whole, like, fake-out in season 1, like, I think it would just be, like, cheap and ingenuine, but at this point, like, honestly, everything is gonna be cheap and ingenuine, because it's just, like, the essence is lost. Do you think the whole season is gonna take place in Russia? No, not the whole season, but I do think the bulk of the season. Okay, this is the construction-y thing. We're not doing that now. But yeah, that, like, really worries me, because, like, apparently they were, like, filming in Russia, and it's, like, before all of this happened, and, like, why? Like, why? I've talked about this before, like, that scares me so much. The prospect of it, like, taking place in Russia. Like, it just further proves that they've completely lost track of, like, what people liked about this show. Like, this show was a love letter to the 80s. It was, like, the small town where nothing weird ever happens. Like, that was the whole draw. It was, like, that 80s cliche. And it's, like, for them to go outside of the small town where nothing weird ever happens is, like, stupid. Because it's, like, nobody and it's, like, the whole Russians thing in season 3 was dumb. Nobody liked it anyway. Like, do they read reviews? Like, nobody liked that. It was stupid. Like, it only worked because the Scoops troupe was involved, which was the best part of the season. But, like, the best part of the season was them and their interpersonal dynamic, not the Russians' presence. And it's, like, they clearly don't understand that. And it's, like, I get it. They have to get Hopper back. We all fucking know he's alive. Like, I talked about this in my video. Like, that's ridiculous that they, like, don't trust their audience enough to, like, pick up the context clues they gave us in season 3. Like, yeah, we all fucking know he's alive, okay? You didn't have to release a teaser trailer over a year. Like, here's the thing, it was gonna be months before the release. Keep in mind that we didn't have a fucking release date before they released that trailer. We didn't have episode names, we didn't have anything. And for them to be like, they need to know that Hopper is alive a year before this comes out is, like, ridiculous to me, and it's stupid, and and everyone's like, oh, well, it's because, like, Noah, like, spoiled it. And I'm like, do y'all realize that people watch Stranger Things who are not in the fandom? Like, who don't watch, like, press, who don't watch interviews, who don't watch con panels, like, people who just, like, watch trailers and the show? Because, like, those people exist, and those people didn't know that Noah slipped up about that, and those people now know that Hopper's alive. And it's just, like, it's so incredibly frustrating to me. Like, it's so frustrating how they just, like, treat us all like we're children. And it's like, well, clearly that's what your show is for now, because I don't know. Like, I don't even know what to say at this point. Do you think they'll find a way to redeem Mike and Hopper? I think they will try to, and it won't work. They clearly, like, got new writers. You know, like, I just think they're so beyond repair at this point. Like, what are they, like, I don't even know. Like, I think they're gonna try, because they know everyone's angry, but they're not gonna succeed. Because it's like, I just think it's too late. Like, I think it's too late for everything. I think it's too late to focus on Eleven's trauma. I think it's too late to focus on Hopper's toxic behavior, considering, like, they had, you know, it was really well handled at the end of season 2. Like, I just think that there are so many things, like, they can't go back on at this point, because it's like, how are you gonna justify some of these actions? Like, how are you gonna, like, what's your excuse? Ooh, what do you think is gonna happen with the buyers/L? This is a really great question, because, like, obviously they kind of dipped, and it's like, I just think, like, something is gonna come up. And, like, because here's the thing, because, like, 11 lost her powers. I think that is so that she can't find Hopper in Russia, because he's fucking alive. Shouldn't have told us that, but whatever. And so, but then it's like, I don't know, maybe she'll get him back, and then she'll, like, get, you know, pick up on Hopper, and then she'll be like, we have to go get him, but we can't do it alone. They go back and get the gang. It's a whole big reunion. I think Mike and 11 are going to be, like, trying the whole long distance thing, and it's not going to be, like, working out. But then they're going to, like, rekindle it in season 4. They'll be fine. Mike and 11 are going to be endgame. I'm not happy about it, but, like, let's be honest. And it's like, whatever, so relationship drama, they're like, you know, they've changed, they've been away from each other, 11 has grown as a person and has learned to be more than just Mike's girlfriend and Hopper's daughter, which is what she fucking needs, but that's gonna cause, you know, problems. And yeah, so then they're gonna, I don't know, like, I don't know how they're gonna get to Russia, that's the thing. It's like, I feel like maybe once 11 gets her powers back, they'll be, like, enhanced. And then now she can, like, teleport them places. And I don't know, maybe they, like, build up to going to Russia. You know, and so that's kind of my I mean, I had this whole thing where I was like, the American is a red herring. It could still be a red herring, but it's not going to be an effective red herring because we know Hopper's alive. So, like, they're probably going to find out he's, like, alive and get him back, like, pretty quickly so they can give David Harbour stuff to do because David Harbour's a fantastic actor. Hopper is just a really shitty fucking character at this point, and, like, nobody cares. Wait, what the fuck? Anyway, and so, like, I don't know, like, I feel like there could be some really cool scenes. You know, like, Stranger Things is visually perfect. Like, visually, it's, like, so spectacular, and it's, like, I'm really excited to see what they do, like, with, like, the fight scenes and stuff in the snow. Like, y'all know it's gonna be cool as fuck. Like, obviously, I still have love and admiration for Stranger Things. It's just, like, I don't care about it like I did at one point. I'm not passionate about it like I was at one point, and that makes me really sad, but that's not my fault. What monsters do you think they'll have to face? Great question, Chloe. That's actually, like, a very good question, because it's like, what do they do? Like, what are they gonna do at this point? Like, they've done the Demogorgon. They did the Demodogs. That was a good segue. It was very Jurassic Park. Like, what do you do instead of one scary dinosaur? Lots of scary dinosaurs, you know, whatever. Well, because it's like, it can't be the Mind Flayer again. Because they did that, like, in Season 2 and in Season 3, which was, like, so bad. Because it's, like, the whole thing with stakes is that you have to, like, continuously up the stakes, or your audience is underwhelmed. It's, like, so that's why, like, Season 2 worked in theory, because it was like, oh, we have one Demogorgon, and that's scary, and now we have a lot of Demogorgons, you know? And so it was, like, more doesn't necessarily equal scarier, but, like, it was effective in theory, because then they also had the Mind Flayer, which was, like, bigger, badder, whatever. But then it's, like, for Season 3, it was the exact same level of stakes as Season 2, with the Mind Flayer, and it was, like, it was just the Mind Flayer, and, like, the only thing was, is they're, like, oh, possessing, like, an army now. I'm like, okay, but he possessed Will in Season 1, like, how does this have any more weight than what we already saw? And so, like, Season 3 was just underwhelming, because then they tried to throw the Russians at us, but it's, like, that's just man versus man, and it's, like, when you've been dealing with monsters, like, a human being is not scary, you know? So, like, that didn't work. And it's, like, you know, the end of the season, they showed the Demogorgon, like, the original Demogorgon. And it's, like, okay, that was obviously, like, hinted towards, because, like, of the cage and the, you know, the Russians want the Demogorgon. But it's, like, why? Like, what does that provide to the audience? Like, why should we care? Why should we be invested in the fact that the Russians want the Demogorgon? Like, we need, like, a reason. We need, like, a reason to care. Like, that's what storytelling is, you know? It's like, you gotta give them a reason to care. And it's like with the TV show, like, at this point, we care about the characters. So now we care about the conflict as it affects our characters. So if, like, the big bad is something that they've already fought, like, we're like, well, they're gonna be fine, you know? And, like, that's, at the end of the day, the problem. And it's like, so there are no stakes. And it's just, I don't know. I'm really worried, just, like, structurally for this show, because it's like, they've just, you know, like, for it to be structurally satisfying at this point, there were certain things they would have had to hit in Season 3 if they just didn't hit. And that was, you know, one of those things. Do you think Hopper will find a way out of Russia? I mean, yeah, they're all gonna go rescue him, like, for sure. But watch them, like, not. Watch them, like, not go rescue him. And instead, like, it's, like, a separate thing. Oh my god, watch them do another, like, Season 2 thing where it's, like, Eleven was by herself, like, the whole season until, like, the last episode. Like, watch them do it with the Hopper. That would be so lame. Oh, I'm just upset. Can you tell? Can you tell I'm upset? Where am I supposed to be going from here? Oh, find the missing Cerebro parts. I totally didn't see that in the top corner. Well, I don't know where that third one is. Dustin's attack is my favorite. It's Farrah Fawcett's spray. How incredible is that? Like, how incredible is that? The designers of this game are more creative than the writers of the show, I'm telling you. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I'm just very negative about Stranger Things recently, and if that bothers anyone, I'm sorry, but I'm not alone in this. Like, this definitely seems to be the general consensus, you know, among me and my friends and you guys and whatever. It's just, like, and, like, I'm upset because like, I cared about it so much, you know? It's, like, that's what's so disappointing is, like, this was, like, a perfect show in my eyes, and maybe I gave it too much credit, and that's why I was so disappointed, but it's, like, I'm so upset about it because it was something that I cared about so much, and it's, like, to see it now be, like, not something I would have really liked, like, because it's, like, I wouldn't have really been a fan of the show, I wouldn't have really watched the show, if, like, Season 3 had been the starting point, if, like, that was the tone that they were providing us with from the start, like, that's not what I signed up for, and that's what's just so frustrating, because it's, like, this is not the same show at the end of the day, and it's, like, yes, you have to conform with time jumps and the ages of the characters, and whatever, but it's like, you don't have to sacrifice the quality, and that was, you know, basically what I was talking about in my, you know, my Downfall of Stranger Things video, which I also wrote an article on, which was longer and had some different stuff that I didn't talk about in my video. Go follow my site. Alina's Media Analysis. It's a fun time. I cannot find this last part, and I'm so frustrated. Anyway, I'm gonna go struggle with this. This is a great game. I have like 20 seconds left on my camera. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment, like, and subscribe. Press the notification bell because I don't have an uploading schedule. Follow me on Instagram at edward.spaghedward. Links in the description and ways you can help Black Lives Matter, as well as links to my website, my merch, all that stuff. What do you think about season 4? What are your theories? This has been a really great dinner. Thanks for coming over.